What is going on, everyone? Alex here, just on a little pause during my morning walk. Lovely summer's morning. Gonna do some coaching calls later, but I'm just taking a little morning break. And this morning I noticed myself getting frustrated on a couple of things. A couple of things bothering me in my life and getting lost in overthinking, feeling annoyed, feeling frustrated, wishing things were a bit different. And then I caught myself, as I always do. Sometimes it takes a bit longer than others. And remembered the powerful switch that we all have access to. When we're in the throes of being resentful or in a bad mood, or something's bothering us and we're kind of taking the victim mode, you know, we're complaining to ourselves about how things aren't fair and I wish life was different and I'm annoyed that this person is doing this and I wish I was more like this, and you find yourself judging yourself and comparing yourself to others. Whatever it is, it's a very low consciousness state. It's a very low mood state, and it tends to lead to a downward spiral if you allow it to. And what I always do, and I haven't always remembered to do it, but one of the things that really helps me is just to think to myself, refuse to be weak. You know, I'll kind of grab myself by the shoulders and say, Alex, you're being weak, you're being a victim, you're acting as though the world, you know, you're at the mercy of other people and the world around you, and that's a weak mode. It's a weak mentality. And it does sound a little bit politically incorrect, and it's not the kind of advice you tend to hear from a lot of people these days. You know, don't be weak. It sounds very kind of boot camp, military-esque, and very uncompassionate. I would argue that it's actually one of the most compassionate things you can do for yourself, is to say, stop being a weak bastard and get your ass in gear, type thing. It's a slightly aggressive approach, but it always helps. You know, it kind of wakes me up out of my slumber of being lost in my victim thoughts. We have two sides to us, you know. We're either in victim mode or we're in creator mode. We're either in victim mode or ownership mode. And just having this little mantra that we can say to ourselves, life is good when you don't weaken. So don't allow yourself to be weak. Don't be a pussy, in other words. And I think it's a powerful phrase. I think it's important because it reminds us to wake up out of our being stuck in victim mode, and we can switch instantly into taking ownership of our problems, taking ownership of everything that's happened in our lives up till this point. And it's true, your life is the way it is precisely because of all the decisions you've made. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And you've got to remind yourself of that sometimes. And sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind in the long run. And this always helps. Stop being a little bitch. You know, sometimes you just have to kind of snap yourself out of it. And remember that there's a side of you which I like to call the warrior hero legend. There's a warrior hero legend, and there's a whiny bitch victim. You can choose to be either. And the beauty is that you have the choice. So whenever you feel low, that's a really great indication. That's your body signaling to you that you're in a low frame of mind, a low frame of thinking. You're thinking of yourself in a lowly manner. You're thinking of yourself as a victim, at the mercy of stuff around you. And it's a very low power mood. And it's going to be, it's essentially self-harming. You're going to be, you know, bringing yourself down into that spiral, which doesn't help. And so you have to remember and remind yourself that you have the power of choice at any moment to flick the switch. Still a bit early for me, so brain warming up. And just remind yourself, don't refuse to be weak, and bring a kind of aggressive approach to it as well. Aggression has a lot of power as a tool in waking you up and getting you into more of a forward momentum. Be a bit aggressive. Be okay with refusing to be a certain way. There's a forceful action to it And I think that's good. I think it's good to be forceful occasionally about some of the things we allow into our minds and our lives, i.e. unhelpful thoughts, victim thoughts, little bitch thoughts. Refuse to be a little bitch. Just that phrase alone, it might sound cruel, it might sound harsh, but try it. It tends to wake one up, tends to activate the inner warrior that we have all kind of lying dormant within us. I tend to call him Drake the Dragon. Sometimes I'll switch it over and just call it, you know, warrior, hero, legend. That person is inside you. You just have to wake the guy up and refuse to be weak. Let me hear your thoughts, guys. Hopefully that awoke some of your inner dragons. And just remember, you always have a choice to get yourself out of that kind of low mood frame and switch it instantly into an ownership mode. You can do that, and you'll find that things change very rapidly, and you can start seizing the day again, and things start looking different as well. As soon as you sort of flip your perspective, it's like changing the filter on a camera. You're instantly going to see the world in a different way. If you see it from the perspective of being an owner, being a warrior, being someone who won't take shit from anyone else, or primarily yourself, you're going to see things in a much more healthy light. You're going to see things from the point of view that you have power. You know, you can take responsibility, and you can exert that control in a healthy, positive way, of course. That's it from me. I'm going to be bringing new videos through, so make sure you're subscribed. Do like this video if you liked it. Do share this with your mates, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.